Yo, what's going on YouTube? Back again, it's the Brat Man. Today, I wanted to talk about the SSR 110. Now, I know most of you guys will probably say, oh, it's a Chinese bike, it's made in Taiwan or whatever. But believe it or not, this bike is actually a good value for the money. And I'm going to tell you why it's a good value. Now, some things are cheap on this bike, like some of the bolts. Like, if a lot of people who ride these really hard, some of these mount bolts will wear out. You know, you have to check them over time. Just make sure they stay snug. So what happens is some of these bolts tend to come loose. And when they come loose, they start to have play, and they start over time. When a bolt is loose, they'll just keep going back and forth like this. When it keeps going back and forth like that, what it does, it just wears down the metal. And so on the frame, where the bolt goes through, if you keep riding around with a loose bolt, you're going to make the hole bigger, and that's where problems start. So check your bolts on these after every ride. Make sure everything stays snug and tight. And WD-40 everything, like the Kickstarter here. Put WD-40 on some of the parts, and that'll prevent any rust, because moisture and water will cause rust on these, so you don't want that. So what I wanted to talk about was why this bike is so awesome, and why you should get one, and why it's such a good deal. You know, you're getting a lot of value here for the money. And the number one thing is the engine design. It's almost like a Honda CT70. If you guys are familiar with the old school Hondas, they're the ones that came up with this design, basically. And I used to have a CT70 back in the day, and it has a similar, carburetor setup, but this engine design is bulletproof almost. As long as you, do the regular maintenance, change the oil in these, and just, go easy on them. Don't fully beat the crap out of them. You should get a long time out of this. So I picked this up locally from a guy who bought it for his son and never rode it. So the bike was never, ridden. But for the price, brand new, it's $9.99, and you can't really beat the price, because nowadays it's hard to find anything brand new for under $2,000. So what I wanted to talk about was, like, the value you're getting here. Like, it's actually a nice hub here. It's not bad at all for being, not a Japanese bike. But I mean, you're getting disc brakes front and back. You don't even get that on like a DRZ 110 or anything. You get drum brakes. I mean, this bike is set up really cool, and it really isn't that bad for the price. It's not super high quality, but it's not super cheap quality. It's, it's mediocre. So, I just wanted to talk about this bike, and it starts up first kick every time. Another thing you guys might want to do when you get one of these, is you want to change the carburetor, because these carburetors tend to, they're not all that great. They tend to act up a little bit, and these bikes won't idle. But you can go on Amazon and get yourself a nice carburetor for $60 that will operate this bike a lot better. And for some reason, the 120, this is the 110 model, semi-automatic. So there's no clutch at all on this bike. Absolutely no clutch. And the reason why I bought this was because of my daughter. She knows how to use the clutch and everything, but mostly on the quad. I just want to get her balanced right, so when she's on the ground, she can master this with her 2 feet, get her balance right and everything. Then once she gets her balance right, then she can move up to like the Honda Gram. So I told her that was the deal. Like, she can ride this, learn on this bike first, and then once she masters the balance and everything, then she can, move on to a Honda Grom, which is a 125cc. Almost same engine design setup. Like Honda had the traditional, engine set up like this, and they're basically bulletproof as long as you take care of the maintenance on these. These engines are really well built, but they copied this design from Honda. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Honda engine actually bolts right up to this thing. I'm not sure about the engine mounts, but some people were saying they are the same, but I'm not sure. But the engine, for not being directly from Japan and being a copy, it's not bad at all. So, but yeah, I just want to talk about this bike, and I think it's a really good deal for the money. So if you guys were thinking about getting one for your kids, I would highly recommend buying this. And you just want to do the chain adjustments, make sure everything's tight, because these bolts tend to come loose on these bikes. So, it's not Honda quality, but for under $1,000, not including taxes, but of course they're going to get you on taxes and prep fees and all that stuff. So, but for the money, you can't go wrong. So I would highly recommend buying one of these. And the guy I got it from, he bought it for his son. He never rode it, so it just sat there. It still has the tags on it. Still has like the tags on it and everything. And I bought an exhaust for it to make it a little louder. For some reason, the 110 exhaust has a baffle in it, but the 125 seems to be like more of a straight pipe. The 125s have a really nice sound to it. So I bought one of those aftermarket slip-on pipes, and I'll put that on with my kid. So it'll be a learning experience for her. So, but yeah, I mean, you're getting front and rear disc brakes on this bike, hydraulic disc brakes. You're even getting like a braided brake line, which is pretty amazing. Some of the detail on this bike is pretty incredible for being a cheap bike. It even has a coil over there. You can adjust the suspension with it's got adjustable coil spring right here. You can adjust the coils, which is pretty cool. You can stiffen it up. Even has a window for your hydraulic brakes. It's not bad quality for being a cheaper bike. The levers feel nice. They're not real chintzy. Feels pretty good. Everything on this bike feels pretty good. It has a nice the handlebar clamps are pretty decent. But unfortunately, a lot of these bikes get abused. So when you're looking for one, try to find one that has low hours on it, or that's almost like new, because honestly, a lot of these kids jump on these bikes, they do wheelies and they drop them, they get hammered. So, and some people are so rough with these bikes that they actually bend the stopper here. So when you turn, see how that stops from doing a full turn? Like it stops the steering wheel from going all the way over. See that? So what happens is people trash these and they just get bent and they break off. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that. But parts for these are really cheap. So if you're looking for like plastics, the plastics are very affordable. You can get brand new plastics for this on eBay for like $30. And there's plenty of colors to choose from. You can get green, yellow, red, white, pink. So yeah, there's plenty of aftermarket parts for this bike. From carburetors to exhaust to header pipes. I mean, surprised you can do pretty much anything to one of these bikes. I wouldn't be surprised if someone already put a turbo on one of these things. But yeah, really cool bike. Like I said, for the price, you can't beat it. So I'd highly recommend this. Bratman would give this a thumbs up for the price, because for under $1,000, brand new, you can't beat it. But I bought this used from a guy that had it in a barn, and he bought it like 4 months ago, and his son never rode it. So the plastics faded a little bit from the sun. can see it's a darker green here. But I'm gonna slap other plastics on it. I'm sure my daughter, she's gonna want like to put pink plastics on it to match her pink helmet. So, but the thing fires right up. Turn the fuel on. I don't even know if you have to choke it. It's kind of warm, but this is the choke right here. That's off, I believe. And that's on. Half off. Half on. So we'll put the choke on. Kickstart out. Nice and quiet. That has to be the quietest motor I ever heard in my life. I can't even hear the valves. There's like literally no noise coming from the engine. So quiet. Well, I had the choke on, so turn the choke off, start it back up. But yeah, it fires right up, man. First kick every time. Whoa. It's got a lot of compression. Ooh. Damn. Let's try a half choke. That's a lot of compression on a small bike, man. Totally stopped my foot. There you go. So yeah, you got your kill switch here. That's it. Bare bones kill switch, kickstart, and that's it, man. That's all there is to it. Really nice bike, and it even has a skid plate on it. A little factory skid plate there. Very easy to change the oil. You just got your one drain bolt, like on your typical engine. That's it. I don't even think there's an oil filter. And I was gonna change the oil, but the oil is so clean in this thing. I checked the oil and it was like, actually like, really good. Not bad at all. Super clean. Should just go ahead and change it, but you can see there, look how clean that is. It's really clean. But why waste oil if you don't have to? I mean, it's still okay. Bike was never even ridden anyway, so I'll go ahead and change it though. But anyway, for 110cc, this bike is very peppy. It's a 4-speed, automatic clutch, no clutch. So yeah, just want to let you guys know the value that you're getting here. Very easy to work on. Very easy to remove, like the gas tank, the seat. I mean, the bike is very, very easy to work on. Got your coil right here and 2 wires that come off of it for the ignition. You got your wiring up there. So yeah, that's it. Other than that, man, this bike is it's an awesome bike. For the price, you can't beat it. Very easy to work on. You don't even have an air box. You just have basically a foam filter, like a sponge filter. That's it. That's all there is to it, folks. There's nothing going on here. This bike is so simple, and just a nice little bike for your kids to have fun on. Even adults can have fun on it too. And it pulls me perfectly. So it's pretty powerful for a 110. I have to give it that. It's you know, it's a light bike to begin with. You can pick it up easily. It's very light. But yeah, so stay tuned for more videos. I'll be back with some more riding videos. My daughter's gonna hop up on this thing and take it for a spin. I'll get some more videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions about this bike, let me know. Leave in the comment section. And yeah, I mean, this thing handles amazing. The steering is very light. It's a small bike, but I'm just amazed at the quality that, like, you know, for being a Chinese bike or Taiwanese or whatever it is, but it's actually not that bad. Even the side-by-sides I heard are pretty decent that they're making now. The SSR side-by-sides. Yeah, so definitely looking to getting one. And this is like a Kawasaki green, which is pretty cool. Can't go wrong. So yeah, keep this video short. Has standard shocks on it. You know, they're not upside down forks or anything. They're just basic. But the hubs are really nice. It's got nice black wheels on it. Really nice spokes. And it's just a really cool bike for the price. It's got the stainless brake line. Seems to be stainless. It's pretty cool brake lines on there. Nice drilled disc rotors on here, and it's pretty cool. Definitely, you know, can't go wrong with this little machine. It's great for anybody. So it's a good looking bike too. It's definitely a good looking little bike, man. Can't go wrong with the SSR for the price. So value for the money, thumbs up. So I would tell you to go ahead and buy one if you can get one that's in good condition used. But when you go, if you buy one of these used, check all the mounting bolts, man. You got to make sure your engine ain't loose. Like, push the engine, like move it side to side like this. Make sure nothing's loose. Check your hub bearings. Make sure everything's tight. Because, like I said, a lot of people jump on these and hammer them to the ground. They beat the crap out of these things. So it's a pit bike. So a lot of people abuse these things. So yeah, just telling you what to look for. Make sure everything's snug and tight. And you'll be good to go. So yeah, like and subscribe. Peace and hair grease. See you all later. See you.